Hey everybody, Zero here, here to, give you guys another episode. Let's play Mega Man Battle Network. I am literally recording this right after I listened to the finished version of yesterday's episode. So I'm still going a bit. And, if we have time, I'm gonna talk a bit more about Mega Man Battle Network, because after everything was done, I thought of some things that I really wanted to say. So we're gonna get right into it so that I don't, neglect today's question of the day. And, what's your guys' favorite Battle Network? Like I said, I haven't played all of them. I can't even, say with confidence that I've played enough to really have that much of an opinion. But my first one was Battle Network 4, and I got Blue Moon. Yeah, I had Blue Moon. And turns out, because I wanted Red Sun. I did, but Walmart didn't have it, and at one point, because I don't live in a big enough town for there to be like a Best Buy or a GameStop or anything like that. So, a couple months after it came out, my family went to the, nearest large town, and whenever we would go, I'd stop in at their, GameStop, and the only one they had was Blue Moon. Well, it's a good thing I got that one, because, that's, each version has its little things, its little, differences, and one of the major differences it had was, the souls you could get, where you could basically fuse with another Navi to create, gain some of their abilities or whatever. And one of them was Proto Soul, Proto Man. And I'll tell you guys right now, Proto Man is one of my favorite characters in Battle Network. I thought that his design was really, really badass. I mean, I think a lot of the characters in Battle Network are designed really, really well. NT Warrior Battle Network, that whole thing. But yeah, you got Proto Soul, which I thought was really, really cool. Is the basic thing you should walk away with that whole story. I played that one, and I played Battle Network 6 long after it came out. I ordered it on Amazon, and I played Cyber Beast Gregor, I think it's pronounced, and I'm gonna say that one's my favorite. I think that was a great game with a great premise, and you hit some great things in it. It was the same Battle Network, that it kept the same format, but it didn't feel tired in that one. And its feel was a whole lot better than in 4, I thought. And I thought that the whole idea of a Cyber Beast was really cool, and that it would, basically possess Mega Man was really, really cool. And I don't want to reveal too much, because eventually I would like to do a Let's Play of those two games. But I'm gonna say 6 for sure. And I'm thinking that when I do get around to playing those, I think I'm gonna play the other versions, just for, a thing, just to have some different continuity. Anyway, back to what I want to say about NT Warrior, because once again, I I really didn't get to. I thought of some things after the episode ended for yesterday. And we're not missing much. Basically, we're hitting gates, and there's questions like how many seats are there in the classroom, how many books are there in this, that, and the other. And if you ever see me stop for a really long time, I'm checking my phone, the timer on my phone, to see how much time we have left. And sometimes it takes a while for me to unlock my phone. Either that, or was I save stating here? I don't know. Anyway, I remember I caught like the first couple episodes of it, and then I would forget because it was on a local channel, and my TV was always set to either Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. One of those for a really long time. And especially around this time, because, you know, Toonami was still a thing and was still very dear to me. You know, it's amazing. I love anime, and I know that today, but back when I was a kid, I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was, yet I still loved it. I couldn't tell. I thought it was just a cool cartoon. I hadn't a clue. I remember, let's see here, I remember when I was like 2 or 3, when Toonami was just kind of starting out. I think when I started, you know, being able to recollect things, I have a memory of Toonami when it was still Moltar hosting. And that's interesting because a lot of people don't, you know, they have to be reminded that was a thing. The original host wasn't Tom, it was Moltar from Space Ghost. Most notably, it was his persona from Space Coast Coast to Coast, which, if you don't know, was a comedic interpretation that had Space Ghost and some of his villains running like a Tonight Show-esque thing, and it had its highs and its lows. But anyway, back to Battle Network, or Battle Network, NT Warrior. I remember I saw an episode that covered program advances, and I thought that was really cool. It talked about that a lot, and then I stopped watching it again. And I really didn't start really watching it until it got to where I believe it was called NT Warrior Access, and it covered kind of the ground that was set during the 4th installment of Battle Network. Except it had the whole gimmick of synchro chips, where if there was a digital field, you could sync with your Navi in the real world. And I thought that was a really cool idea. I thought they did, you know, plot development really well. Shade Man was done really well, and, you know, the whole idea of dark chips and things like that in a cartoon environment was done really well. Because I think cartoon storytelling and, you know, like traditional, like, video game storytelling are two completely different things. I think, you know, if you try and tell a story on TV as a video game, it's gonna fail. And if you try and, you know, directly make a video game into a TV show or movie, it's gonna fail. Because, you know, they're two completely different mediums. In a video game, you have interaction. You have to pace it for somebody who's actively doing things. For a movie, you have to pace things or a TV show, either or, you have to pace things for, you know, however long somebody's to be sitting. And it can't be all action all the time. Anyway, with that being said, we're gonna wrap up here, and, you know, my bleeding heart. I'll beat for you and stuff. Bye bye.